Thanos vs. Godzilla. A spectacular battle across different locations. Ever wondered what would happen if two of the most colossal forces clashed in an epic battle? Yep, I'm talking about Thanos and Godzilla going head to head. Grab some popcorn, because this is going to be one wild ride across the globe. We kick things off with a sweeping view of the universe. Stars are flickering, galaxies spinning, and there's this eerie feeling that something big is on the horizon. Zooming in, we find ourselves looking at Earth, a tiny blue dot about to become ground zero for an unimaginable showdown. So, let's chat about our first contender, Thanos. You know him, the big, purple cosmic warlord with a knack for collecting shiny stones. He's got this whole plan about balancing the universe, albeit in a pretty harsh way. With the Infinity Gauntlet on his hand, he's basically got the universe on speed dial. On the flip side, we have Godzilla, the king of the monsters. This gigantic, ancient creature has been Earth's guardian for, well, longer than we can imagine. Woken up by disturbances in nature, Godzilla isn't just a monster, he's a force of nature with atomic breath that can level cities. An anomaly, a rip in the fabric of reality, causes their dimensions to merge. Suddenly, Thanos senses an immense power emanating from Earth, while Godzilla senses an otherworldly threat encroaching on his planet. The collision course is set. First stop, New York City. The city that never sleeps is buzzing as usual. People are going about their day, totally unaware that their world is about to be turned upside down. Out in the Atlantic, the waters begin to churn violently. Ships rock as massive waves build up. Suddenly, Godzilla emerges from the depths, towering over everything. His massive form casts a shadow over the city as he makes his way toward the shore. High above, a swirling portal opens in the sky. Thanos steps through, surveying the city below with a cold, calculating gaze. He smirks slightly, clearly amused by the chaos unfolding. The two titans lock onto each other's presence. Without warning, Thanos unleashes a burst of cosmic energy. Godzilla roars in defiance, the sound echoing through the concrete canyons. Buildings begin to crumble as they exchange blows. Godzilla fires his signature atomic breath, a beam of intense blue energy, forcing Thanos to create a force field. People on the streets are fleeing in every direction, it's pure pandemonium. Realizing that the city might not survive their battle, Godzilla lumbers back toward the ocean. Thanos, curious and perhaps a bit arrogant, follows him out over the water. Out at sea, naval fleets scramble. Destroyers and aircraft carriers try to establish contact but end up caught in the crossfire. Thanos manipulates the water using the Infinity Stones, creating massive whirlpools that suck in ships. Godzilla, unfazed by the ocean's turmoil, charges at Thanos with renewed vigor. They plunge beneath the waves, turning the ocean depths into their battleground. Underwater shockwaves ripple out, causing tsunamis that begin to slam into coastlines hundreds of miles away. Sea creatures scatter. A pod of whales darts away, schools of fish change direction en masse, and even sharks are like, nope, we're out. Their epic underwater fight causes global ramifications. Weather patterns go haywire, with storms brewing out of nowhere. Coastal cities are battered by relentless waves, and the Earth's magnetic field starts to fluctuate. Deciding to change tactics, Thanos uses the Space Stone to teleport both of them to the Sahara Desert. 1 minute they're underwater, the next, they're in the middle of endless sand dunes. The blistering sun beats down as sandstorms kick up around them. Thanos manipulates the environment, turning sand into shards of glass that he hurls at Godzilla. It's both beautiful and deadly, a glittering storm of sharp edges. Godzilla, ever the adaptive creature, starts absorbing the intense solar radiation. His dorsal plates glow brighter, and he seems to gain strength from the harsh conditions. Thanos notices but isn't deterred. He taps into the full power of the Infinity Stones, each one glowing fiercely. They charge at each other across the desert, leaving trails of destruction in their wake. The ground shakes violently, causing fissures to open up. It's like watching two gods battle it out, each trying to outdo the other. Feeling the pull of his origins, Godzilla leads the battle to Japan, heading straight for Mount Fuji. Thanos follows, intrigued and perhaps sensing that this could be the final stage of their confrontation. Mount Fuji isn't just a mountain, it's a symbol steeped in history and spirituality. Locals watch in a mix of awe and terror as these two behemoths approach. Temples shake, and ancient trees sway violently as they draw near. Thanos unleashes the full might of the Infinity Gauntlet. Reality warps around them. The sky changes colors, and gravity seems to fluctuate. Godzilla digs deep, tapping into the very core of the earth. His entire body glows with an intense energy that's almost blinding. They unleash their most powerful attacks simultaneously. The collision creates a massive explosion of light and sound. For a moment, everything goes white. The shockwave is felt around the world. The ground shakes, and the air vibrates. Minutes feel like hours as the dust slowly begins to settle. The landscape around Mount Fuji is unrecognizable, trees flattened, the ground scorched. The once majestic mountain has taken some damage but still stands tall. Through the haze, a lone figure begins to appear. Is it Thanos? Is it Godzilla? Drumroll, please. As the smoke clears, it's Godzilla who stands victorious, though clearly worn from the battle. Thanos is nowhere to be seen, defeated or perhaps retreated. The world goes into overdrive. Social media explodes. #Godzilla wins trends globally. News outlets broadcast non-stop coverage, scientists attempt to make sense of the impossible, and world leaders hold emergency meetings. Humanity collectively tries to wrap its head around what just happened. Godzilla stands for a moment, surveying the aftermath. There's a sense of heavy contemplation, as much as a gigantic lizard can portray it. After a moment, he turns and heads back toward the sea. Just when we think it's all over, strange things start happening. Unexplained phenomena occur around the globe: mysterious lights in the sky, sudden power surges, animals acting strangely. In a remote part of space, a shadowy figure watches a holographic replay of the battle. A low, ominous chuckle is heard. Could this be an even greater threat? Back on Earth, Godzilla disappears beneath the waves, the ocean closing over him as if he'd never been there. The world starts to pick up the pieces, unsure of what the future holds.